Hey guys, my apologies for getting on a little bit later than I normally do. I've been kind of looking into some different things and talking with some different people, so most of you guys are probably going to be watching this after the stream. So I wanted to talk about Dropil. So I was going to do a video yesterday on Dropil. However, I ran into a few issues and problems with some of the exchanges, not necessarily like the Dropil platform, and so I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that for those of you guys that are interested in getting into Dropil. So for those of you guys that have been following me, I've been pretty heavily involved with arbitraging, and that's kind of been the has been going really well. I bought in around 65 cents or so. Put most of that into the A bot at the time before it hit $1. Went up pretty high, so I ended up pulling out and losing some coins. But now I'm just kind of really holding on to those coins, and the price hit like $7 not too long ago. So the price appreciation of the coin has been really good, and I've been looking for other opportunities to kind of diversify a little bit. And so the Dropil platform is one that has been mentioned. A few people have been mentioning they've been doing really well, and I was kind of taking a look into it. It's similar to arbitraging, not necessarily like some of them. It's a little bit difficult to kind of compare the two, but yeah, Dropil is one that I'm going to start kind of taking some of my earnings and some of the other platforms and kind of putting into that one to kind of build up that account. And so I wanted to kind of walk you guys through a little bit of the process of getting in Dropil. So I have a link. There's not a whole lot of referral or affiliate bonus for promoting the platform per se. Like I get $5. The person that would be signing up gets $5 in Dropil. So it's not really there's not a whole lot of incentive to promote the platform per se. Once you sign up and set up an account, you're going to get a wallet address. You're going to need to buy drops, and so there's a few different ways that you can do that. And let me show you guys a little bit of kind of like what's going on with the market. This is Dropil here. It's been performing pretty well in the market. Like this is the some of the recent volume you've seen. So IDAX is doing pretty well. Like IDAX is the one currently doing the most volume, and that's where I ended up buying drops. TIDEX, IDX, haven't really gotten into this right BTC. There's like no volume here as well. So but in terms, like if we sort this by price, you can see, well, I guess TIDEX currently has the lowest price, but I was saying like, IDAX would have been the next one. But as far as like market history, this is still a very, kind of new project, kind of just hitting, what was the first day? It was like March 19th or so. So it's been kind of holding steady, but one of the really encouraging signs here is just recently we've seen a lot of volume kind of come in here. And I noticed that when I was in the exchanges, was trying to buy drops was becoming a little bit more difficult, in some of the exchanges that I was in. And so, like I said, like IDAX here was the exchange that I was picking up drops in. And one of the things that, I transferred ETH in here, not a whole lot, basically, around $200 or so in ETH, and was buying drops. However, when I came in here, it's logged me out. Okay, when I was here before, I had an issue transferring out, and so for those of you guys, like IDAX is a new exchange for me, so I didn't I didn't really understand the process, and so I tried to withdraw here, which was like, I think it was like Friday night or Friday night here in Vietnam, and I believe they're like, this exchange is Chinese in origin, and they do the withdrawals manually, and so that's something that's I'm not really sure why they do them like that. Usually that's uncommon for an exchange, but let me see if I can bring up the transaction history here. Order history, I guess it's not really gonna show me here. Anyways, so I tried to withdraw drops in IDAX, and it was in pending state for a long time. And it was in pending Friday, it was pending Saturday, you know, and today was Sunday. You know, I figured it out yesterday. Is if you do a little research, that's when I found out that they do their withdrawals manually. And I think the only reason that it processed on the weekend was because I put in a support ticket, basically saying, hey, like, you know, like I put this in, you know, not too long ago, and I still haven't, still hasn't withdrawn. So if you are going to buy drops in IDEX, my suggestion is, you know, to try to do like withdrawals if you can, like during the weekdays, and when, you know, where it would be in China, and just realize that it may take, you know, it may take up to like 24 hours for that withdrawal to process. So anyways, that was kind of some of the struggles that I had there. You know, this is Tidex. You know, I haven't really, you know, I haven't done anything really with this exchange yet, but you know, there you can see there's right now, currently the price has kind of been around, you know, in the 1100s in terms of, you know, the ETH price. And that's been kind of typical lately. I've noticed it's kind of been around the 1100s, but the price has been rising a little bit. So it's getting up towards 1200 here. Like you can see here on the exchange, like that was the thing. Like when I was in IDEX, I was kind of mentioning that exchange in particular is botted. And so the only way that you're going to be able to pick up drops in IDEX is if you're buying, you know, or you're picking up some of those orders at the top, which we're all in the 1200s. So if you're looking for a better price, it's probably going to be better in either Tidex or IDEX. And let me see if I can show this real quickly to you guys. You know, the price has been coming up quite a bit. You can see here it's like it's up 15% in IDX, and this is you know, like, see if I can bring this down here. You can see some of the orders here in the 1100s. However, you know, these ones typically at the top are botted. So like if you put in an order for 1159, you're going to get outbid. So you're not going to be able to pick up some of those orders unless there's a huge sell-off in the exchange, and that's not. I don't see that happening here pretty soon. But once you get your drops, you deposit them into your account. They're going to you know, show up in your account, and basically from your account, you're going to want to deposit those into the into their DEX. And so like this is like, I'm going to show this to you guys. So this is the DEX platform here, and like you can see like some of my recent transactions. So like I did a DEX deposit here just recently, and so you can kind of come in here and see the performance. So I'm going to be, you know, updating you guys on how this is performing. Internet's a little bit slow, but the you know, so I've got you know, like 185 in there. You know, they're giving a projection here, and like I guess the 3-year projection is going to be $1,000. So some of the, if you're looking at some of the other YouTubers, you'll see a little bit more of a graph chart where this is kind of coming up. I did this at an aggressive level. There's several levels that you can do this at. Like if you do add to DEX, let me see if I can pull up the how this works. So this is like once you have drops in your wallet, they're going to show up here, and then basically you can say how many drops that you want to, you know, put into the exchange or so. So like this is 42 drops. So I got like basically like a quarter. Let me see if this actually works. So I mean, it's fairly simple. You know, once, oh, okay, I guess that worked. So so it's going to be added to your next cycle. And so this works on like a 14 or 15 day cycle, and at which point you're going to get drops deposited, you know, during that time period. The performance is not quite as good as, say, arbitraging. However, I think this is a good way to diversify and to kind of get into some other platforms that can provide some passive income. I'm going to show a few of the other ones that I'm in as well and kind of give you guys an update on that. But this one, I'm going to, you know, be trying to kind of build this account here for a while. You do have the option here to like take this out early. You can see here. So like if I click on this, you're not going to get, I guess, some of the unrealized profit. You know, they have this 14-day or 15-day period and you can kind of choose how much you want. So if you really needed to, you can take your funds out. So that's their DEX platform. There's 3 risk levels. There's kind of you know, a moderate, aggressive, and then there's you know, a safer you know, way to kind of get into this. They have a few different platforms. I think this Arthur one is kind of interesting, so I'm going to show this to you guys. This Arthur one is monitoring current arbitrage opportunities in different exchanges. And I came across this really interesting website. I spent the last 30 minutes trying to find it. I was watching a really interesting video by somebody I think I'm not really that I'm not subscribed to, and I was trying to find the video and I was unable to find it. But I'm going to see if I can bring that up again. Apologize for the slow internet, but this is going to give a little bit more of real-time arbitrage opportunities and some of the major exchanges. And that was the other website that I was looking into, is that you know, it's kind of given. So currently what they're basically saying is, you know, in terms of like, I don't know if this is, yeah, this is percentage. Yeah, this is sorted by percentage. So right now, Monero is the one that has the best ability to have some arbitrage opportunities. So you can see like a 7% difference between Gate.io and, I'm not sure what this other one is, Livecoin. So between these 2 exchanges. So it's giving you some updates. And so these ones just take you directly to the exchange. And so like just clicking on, you know, that link is going to bring you right into Livecoin. So if you're logged into these accounts, you know, you can kind of take advantage of some of the arbitrage opportunities with these different coins. And you can see there's different, you know, pairs. So in a way, this is like the MBOT with arbitraging. It's just, you know, it's a little bit different because the MBOT's kind of more of a all-in-one kind of software platform that you're going to be kind of manually interacting with, whereas this one is just kind of giving you you know, open opportunities, and then you kind of have to go in there and do that yourself in those different exchanges. And so but some, you know, I do like that element to it. There's, you know, you can kind of get in and you have opportunities to make some money just based on some of their signals and some of the price differences between the coins and those different exchanges. So they have APIs hooked up to the different exchanges that are giving you some of those price points in those exchanges. So let me give you guys a little bit of an update on some of the other platforms that I've been in. This is my Asama farm account. So there's been some criticism lately with basically cloud mining, and this would classify as cloud mining. But you know, I have a $1,000 package. You know, I've almost gotten half my capital back so far, at least in the platform. I've got some different strategies with this, and I have some, you know, I'm personally connected with Frank, who just merged his company with Asama Farm, and he's currently getting it, you know, kind of up to compliance and, you know, with regulations in the U.S. And so I'm working with him on, you know, kind of navigating some of that a little bit, because here in Asia, it's like they don't really have an understanding of how that works in the U.S. And if this is something that you want to expand in the U.S., it's going to be that's going to be a little bit necessary. But Bitcoin mining in particular has not been very profitable. The difficulty chart's been just really going up and up and up and up. So it's not a good coin to be mining right now. It's not very profitable, and I think that's one of the things that we've been seeing here. Like if I come in here, like some of the days, like it's a 0.05% daily interest is what I'm getting on these packages. And you know, like in the past, let's see if I can bring this up. Like you can see like a 5.2, 5.3. So there was a little bit more of some volatility where it's coming up there, but right now it's kind of at the minimum. And so what we just recently saw was hash flare. Looks like it stopped paying out. Genesis Mining's not offering mining contracts anymore. So I've been watching several videos that basically saying, like, you know, cloud mining is, you know, dead. It's not really something that would be worthwhile getting into. I think I have a little bit more confidence behind this company because of, you know, they're operating a little bit more efficiently here in Vietnam, and at least initially, like they don't necessarily have to deal with some of the same like regulatory compliances that, you know, you'd need to deal with in the U.S., but they're kind of working on doing that a little bit. So still looks like a good opportunity. If you guys are interested in getting into that, I think that this is going to be a company that's you know, that's headed in the right direction. Proof of Weak Hands has been kind of the other one. Like we're still waiting for this FOMO 3D project. Kind of like the I like the, you know, the layout that they're kind of doing here. So it looks like, you know, this is kind of launching in like, you know, 3 days. So it's still been a lot of anticipation behind this FOMO 3D project, and this unfortunately has kind of been, this is kind of the like the weekly chart. You know, if we're looking at like there was this huge pump, it came up to like 20,000 and came way down. Like I bought in somewhere around here when we kind of saw like a you know, a pump, but we've just been seeing just a very downward trend. Recently, when some of the FOMO 3D stuff coming out, we saw a little bit of a pump, but again, you know, continuing to come down. I think that there's a lot of potential behind the FOMO 3D project. I've been, you know, and I encourage you guys to kind of get in their Discord and look around. I think that that one has a lot of potential, and I think once that launches, and if, you know, once it has a successful launch behind it, which looks like they're really making sure that it's going to be rock solid before they release it to the public. I think that it's going to have a very positive impact on the ETH balance in that contract. So, you know, that's kind of another, you know, another opportunity for passive income, you know, by basically just letting your ETH kind of work for you in some of these contracts. There's a little bit of a risk, like if, you know, if people start exiting the contract, but I still think it has potential. So I'm still holding my position. Gandhi recently has had a little bit more ETH enter that contract. It's getting a little bit more and more, you know, diversified. Now they've added Hebrew and Arabic. So this is much more translated into other languages. So this is much more of an international smart contract. And, you know, again, a very simple clone. You know, so I'm holding, you know, 1,000 tokens, which is a little bit over an ETH. Not making a whole lot, you know, in this, but I think this is going to be one that, you know, is worth maybe having like, you know, an ETH or two in. And, you know, I think that that contract, you know, is starting to get translated into other languages. Like this was like right here on their main website. Like this was a video that was done in Hindi that kind of goes through and explains a lot of the smart contract space. So you're seeing a little bit more of that translated. Let me check on the chat a little bit. Yeah, I think I've been liking Dropil for a while. You know, I think you know, part of it was just I got a little bit, you know, I was really kind of focusing on arbitraging at the time, so it was, you know, that was kind of my focus. But yeah, I think Dropil's a good one to get diversified into. I still have most of my holdings right now in arbitraging and proof of weak hands. But like I said, like some of these other smart contracts are doing a little bit better. I'm also in the, let's take a look at the Now project. I know like I took a little bit of criticism on that because of kind of what's been going on with like a lot, you know, Craig is the main guy behind that project, and you either love him or you hate him. You know, like, so you know, there's a lot of people that are still kind of loyal to kind of some of the stuff that he brings to the space, and then there's a lot of people that like to blame him for, you know, the fallout of BitConnect and you know, a few other platforms and kind of jumping around in the smart contract space. But this website is very smooth, very clean. Let's see if I can get it to load here. I don't have it hooked up to this this address. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show this to you guys, but it's still in the very beginning stages. It's not, I'm not getting this to work for me. So let me see if I can bring this up a different way. It is essentially a clone, but it's done, you know, a little bit differently and has a little bit of a more of a YouTuber backing. That's kind of like has been the it's kind of like a YouTuber promoted smart contract. So here's at least the history of this. So it looked like it peaked roughly about 60 ETH or so. There's a little bit of a sell-off, which none of this was the ambassadors. So this was like people that were kind of buying in and selling off. Not really sure why that was happening, but this is still a very new contract, and so I think it still has some potential. So so I'm in it. I'm supporting it, but it's still very new. NovaChain. I don't know much about NovaChain. I'll have to take a look at that one, Yogi. Smart contracts are pretty much dead already, but I made profits like 14 of them. Yeah, like I think I got in a little bit late, you know, like I'm still down in proof of weak hands, and I probably could have made money in a lot of the smart contract space, like if I was kind of jumping around and pulling out and kind of getting into the newest and latest one. But when I was doing my May vlog, like I was trying to basically show people that, you know, the best strategy was to get into these contracts and hold. And, you know, I didn't do as well because some of those contracts really dumped before I was able to get out. I kind of got out on the tail end. You know, like taking a look at, like, probably one of the biggest ones was Poo. Like, I was doing really well in Poo for a while. And then, you know, I was like, you know, I'm holding, and then I just kind of went down with the ship. And so I thought last time I checked, there was only like 18 ETH in there. Gosh, there's so many clones. I mean, this website has really grown. These are all of the clones. I mean, it's just crazy. So this is interesting. I got some more of these like untested projects. So those ones are kind of staying under the radar. But geez, I'm not even seeing it here. I mean, here's the Fart project, but the Fart was kind of like a offshoot of that. I'm not even seeing Poo anymore. See Proof of Kenny, I see Fart, I don't see Poo. There it is, okay. Let's take a look. But this one, you know, you can see like it had a, you know, hit over 800, almost 900 ETH in that contract, you know, one point. Like that would have been the time to sell, and just dropped dramatically after that. Like I ended up selling out, I think when it was right in here, like in the 30 range. So, you know, there was a lot of other projects that were kind of like, this was when there was a ton of other clones kind of hitting. And also, you know, kind of, you know, once Craig got out and started getting into some of the other projects, because Craig was one of the main reasons that contract really pumped, you know, because there was really no promotional element behind it, you know, until he got in. And, well, I guess I'm still holding five Poo tokens. But yeah, there's only 18 ETH in that contract. So, and the thing is, like, the contract is improved. So like there's been some improvements to it, like it's, you know, there's been some development behind it, like it, you know, but I think all the promotional elements gone, kind of the novelty of it's gone and is worn off. There was a lot of other clones that I got into that I didn't do as well. So I think FOMO 3D will change the game and be able to earn nice interest on our holdings in P3D. I'm hoping for the same thing. I think it has a lot of potential. I really do, and that's why like I'm still in it and still holding and still haven't sold. So I'm holding about 3,000 P3D coins. I think like part of the innovation innovational element behind it is that you will be able to stake your coins in the game. So if you're holding P3D coins, you can stake those coins on, you know, some of the different teams and things that they're going to have. So I think that's you know, innovational element. How many Indians will it take to clone FOMO 3D? It's most likely going to get cloned. Smart contracts are not dead. Pyramid contracts are mostly dead. Well said, Yogi. I think that's there. You know, gosh, I don't know how much I can say about this, but I had a particular platform that reached out to me that wants me to be the main promoter for them, and it was set up in that type of manner, and they have a lot of history. They were one of the original ones, and so. You know, my response to them is like, I'll take a look and see what you guys have in this project. But, you know, what I was saying is like, you know, if it needs to have an element that's going to drive volume into the contract, you know, and so you saw that a little bit with the Revolution 1 project. And the other element is possibly to make it you know, not make it a zero-sum game, is to have an element that's actually bringing a little bit of money into the platform. And so there's a few platforms that are starting to come up. Like there's this ETHGrow platform that's going to be like the first smart contract lending platform. I'm not sure if I'm going to get into that or not. I'm in their Discord, and so I'm kind of monitoring that. You know, it looks like it has some potential. Like, you know, lending platforms have been pretty much dead. The smart contract space is pretty much dead. I don't know, maybe you take two negatives and makes a positive, who knows? But I don't know, maybe I'll throw an ETH in it and see what happens. Once the MBOT is released, arbitraging, and people can see how you can trade manually, it will hit prices higher than everyone imagines. You know, it went up to point, you know, the highest, I think it was at 0.14 ETH. I'm not sure if that's going to show anymore. Yeah, I think it hit like 0.0014 ETH was the highest. And, you know, you know, I'm anticipating we're going to see another pump. Like, it's a very limited supply, only 8.7 million coins. You know, some of the other platforms had much less and did much better. So, you know, I still have a lot of faith in arbitraging. But, you know, again, like I'm probably over invested in arbitraging, and, you know, should something happen, like I have a little bit more faith, at least in proof of we can, so I can pull out at any time. But I'm just not willing to do that right now with where the market is. But looking to get more diversified in some projects. So the Dropil is one that I'm gonna start just slowly building that account. You know, and there's a few others that I'm starting to get into a little bit. And as I mentioned, I'm also talking with another person about this platform, this Chinese platform that I can't talk about publicly on social media, or else they'll basically take away my account and all the funds in it. So they're kind of like Nazis when it comes to that. They're very, very strict, very, very strict on how they want this marketed. It's basically, it's private invitation only. But I've got a lot of information on that. I'm getting some people here in Vietnam interested in that platform, and was even considering, like, you know, I am here in Vietnam, and a lot of people that watch my stream are, you know, from the States. So, you know, if this was something that I wanted to, if somebody was interested in getting involved, I would have to do some sort of, you know, private invitational element. But I don't know, like I'm working with another guy, and I think we're going to be promoting it here in Vietnam, but it's going to be just like, you know, offline. So, that one is like, you know, 30 to 35% every 70 days. So you can really compound your account, and there's been some people that have done that are doing really well. It was you know, in the early stages, it was all in Chinese. There was no English element to it at all, and this is actually when I first started finding out about it, and people were showing it to me. And this is back when, you know, BitConnect was still around, and I pretty much said, hey, you know, I'm just kind of focusing on BCC for right now. You know, when that went away, you know, some of the people that were in that platform really just, you know, they got it more and more focused into that one. And so, but there's going to be several opportunities. I mean, I've got, you know, I mean, these are kind of some of the platforms I'm in. I think there's more opportunity to make some gains in these platforms as opposed to trading, to day trading. I mean, if you were day trading in the last, few weeks or so, like you probably got hammered. Like I'm just looking at the overall market, I mean, stuff, we're in the green a little bit more today as we're kind of getting, into the weekend. We're in the weekend, I guess I should say. But, we might see another kind of softening in the market, as we kind of get into the midweek. But, today is for the most part, it's a pretty green day, but not a whole lot. Let's take a look at, what's doing the best today. It's Dragon Chain, V Chain, Binance Coin, no big surprises there. Substratum's been kind of interesting. I've been hearing some mixed reports on Icon X. I guess Sunny Decree, I was watching his video where he basically was saying there's a lot of problems behind this. I'm not sure why it's up then, but yeah, Sunny Decree was saying it was not very big on that. XYO, I don't know which one. I don't know what XYO is. MUXE. What are your thoughts on Etherlink? I was in that for a little bit. The way I'm understanding it, I thought Etherlink had some pretty negative associations. I don't know if it was like Kenny Dang that was in that project, or it was like something like that, but maybe it wasn't Kenny Dang or some, I remember just seeing some negativity behind that, but I don't know. Let's see. I don't know enough really to comment on it, I guess I should say, but it just, what little research I did, it didn't look like one that I wanted to get involved with. All right, go back in the chat a little bit. I sold 5,000 ARB at $1 because I needed a new Range Rover. Now I'm missing 5,000. I feel stupid now. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'm holding it's like a little over 12,000 coins, and I don't want to sell mine at all. It would be nice if I could put those into like the A-bot or something, and I could make some money, but I think that's a little risky right now, especially with some of the newer developments that are coming out. I don't think that's a good way. So I'm really interested in the M-bot and how that performs, but I just really want to hold on to those coins for as long as I can, especially into later this year, and see how that progresses. I mean, a lot of people are theorizing this is a $300 coin. If I hold on to those coins and the price hits $300, it's worth over $2 million. So, I'd rather sell some of my coins in my exchanges over my ARB coins at this point. So that's kind of my plan. But I am looking for a little bit of some passive income to kind of put into some other projects. And so that's why I'm kind of getting more diversified in some of these projects. Dropil is going to offer a little bit, but I think that's another account that would be best to just compound. And it is set up where you can automatically compound this account. But a lot of statistics, a lot of interesting information. Like you can see some of the pool performance. So if you want to go safe, you want to go moderate, you want to go aggressive, that's still like 0.3%. So it's not bad, I mean, you can kind of see some of the funds allocations, kind of how they have this set up. There's yeah, I talked a little bit about ETHGROW. It's not ready to launch yet, but like I said, it seems like you're taking two things that didn't do well, lending and the smart contracts, and you're kind of putting them both together. So we'll see. But I think it's kind of set up where I don't know if it's I don't see how it's going to work if it's zero sum. I don't see how that's going to work. So there needs to be a way to drive some to drive some money into that. But all right, guys, I'll maybe take another question or two, and I think I'll get off the stream. I missed a bunch of the chat earlier. Let me see if I can. I don't know if some of the people are still on, but let me check. Yeah, having the ability to compound one's profits every 15 days in Dropil is really appealing. Yeah, and it does do it automatically. Yeah, I'm ambassador with Now Contract and got a lot of heat from other YouTubers and told them, it's my money, I need to mind their own business, honestly. Yeah, the Now contract is, what's unfortunate is, well, you kind of saw like the evolution of the smart contract space, and I really think that, you know, it was improving and improving and improving. However, the ETH in those contracts was getting less and less and less, and I think that's what you're seeing. Like, you know, right now the Now contract is peaked at like 59 ETH. You know, it's still very early, but you're going to need incentive to get into that contract, and it's still, you know, zero-sum contract. So I want to, you know, I still think it needs a little bit more innovation. The website's very clean. It's very well set up. You know, I like that element to it, but you know, we'll just have to see, you know, how well it does, kind of moving forward. So, you know, but I'm glad to see some Indians on here. At one point, it's, you know, you know, I'm going to be going to the Philippines. I got to go back to America. I'm going to come back here. That's kind of what I'm doing this year. I don't know how much, you know, traveling. I'm going to do maybe a little bit of traveling here in Southeast Asia, but I really want to, you know, do some traveling in India and network with some more Indian YouTubers. Like I reached out to a few. I'd love to do some collab sessions with some of the Indian YouTubers. I've got a lot of respect for Indians as developers as well. I think Indians are, like, in my experience, and some of the developers I've worked with, the best developers I've ever worked with, they were all Indian. So I was very interested in networking with some of the developers in, you know, there or in different parts. Like I've heard of a couple different tech hubs in India that I'm interested in going to. I had a friend of mine that is a graphic designer at Amazon, and she took a trip out to India, and I guess it's kind of like the Silicon Valley of India. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I mean, you know, India and China are just gigantic markets. That's another one I you know, like to do some traveling in China. But before I kind of get into China and India, I think I may want to see if I can get a bank account in Korea and do some, you know, start doing arbitrage, you know, with some of my accounts there. Where are you, Gandhi, in India? Oh, and Panchel. Oh, yeah, not receiving your $5 in Dropil. So you actually have to get into the DEX, I believe, before it activates, is the way I understand it. So it's not enough just to like sign up for an account. Like you actually have to invest and get into their DEX for that $5 to get credited to your account. At least that's the way I'm understanding it. But I mean, it's only $5 for me, so it's not really a big deal. Like, I know there was like, I've been watching like Crypto Sensei's videos, and he was one of the earliest promoters of Dropil, and like he had, I think he had like, at one point he had like 16 people signed up, and so he was showing that he had made $80 in profit there, so, or from referrals. So it does activate. I think you just, you know, it's not enough just to sign up. You actually have to, you have to be like invested. Like you have to have money in the, you know, in their, in the DEX part of the application. So. The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its devs are treated. I guess that's a Gandhi.io quote, not necessarily a Gandhi quote. All right, guys, appreciate y'all staying online. I got some interesting stuff I'm looking into, so I'll get some things prepared for you guys, and catch you on the next one.